What's up, everybody? I honestly wanted to make a quick little video about this Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira fight. All about UFC 287 in general, but specifically about Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 2. So, a little bit of background. For one thing, I know this is the first time I've really ever made anything, or I made a video about mixed martial arts or any type of combat sport. At least I'm pretty sure I might have posted one like a long time ago, but I'm pretty sure that video is deleted. But this is the first time I've really talked about mixed martial arts. But I honestly grew up watching UFC and being addicted to boxing video games and obviously on YouTube looking up boxing stuff whenever I could. I've always been obsessed with combat sports, and I have always been a fan of the UFC. Ever since I was a little kid, I was blessed to have a family that is as obsessed with that shit as I am. They've been fan like my dad has been a fan of the UFC since like Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell type, days. You know what I mean? Like the Pride days as well. Um, so I hope you guys don't mind if I make some of these videos. I just love talking about mixed martial arts, and I don't know. I like getting my opinion out there, I guess. But I've been seeing this narrative a lot, where people tend to think that Alex Pereira, no matter what, is just going to absolutely smoke Israel Adesanya, and that Izzy has no chance, pretty much, or that even if he does have a chance, it's most likely going to be Pereira flatlining Adesanya. So, I'm gonna get something off my chest. I am absolutely an Izzy fan. Okay, Israel Adesanya is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I love his striking. I I also looked up a lot of his kickboxing videos. I love how he fights, man. I think he's incredible. Like, I genuinely think he's the smartest and most technically sound striker, arguably in all of combat sports. If we're just talking about technicality's sake and just like how good he is at being able to place shots, I don't think there's anyone better, personally. But Alex Pereira is obviously a powerhouse and has always been a problem for Israel Adesanya. But I would like to give my prediction to what is going to happen with Israel Adesanya versus Pereira 2. I think Israel Adesanya wins by either two ways: KO, meaning he knocks out Pereira, or or by decision, by taking him on the ground. He could submit him because does not really have very much ground game. He could submit him, but I just don't really see that happening. So I would generally see Adesanya possibly wrestling him on the ground. But genuinely, I think most likely uh, Izzy's going to try to go for the finish. And if you've been paying attention to the UFC, you might be a bit confused right now. You might be like, "What? Izzy's lost against him 3 times, twice in kickboxing and once in the UFC." For one, twice in kickboxing is a little bit. You got to put an asterisk next to that. Okay. For one, their first fight. If you actually watch the fight and you actually, pay attention to the whole entire fucking thing, it becomes blindingly apparent that Izzy got robbed that first fight. Izzy tried to point him out, and he did pretty much. Well, he should have. He was outstriking him nonstop. He wasn't really taking very many risks, but somehow the judges saw it for Pereira. It was absolutely a robbery. It was a controversial win even way back then. The second fight that they had in kickboxing, Alex Pereira absolutely knocked him out, like flatlined him. Like there's no arguing about this. He absolutely shut his lights off, shut his lights out. He fucking legit just boom, check hook to the jaw, just absolutely just, you know what I'm saying? He fucking flatlined him. It was a nasty fucking knockout, okay? Beautiful, if I'm being honest with you. If I wasn't a Adesanya fan, I would genuinely absolutely marvel at it. It hurts to see as an Adesanya fan, but I cannot lie. It was an incredible knockout. He caught him. He caught him perfectly. But again, Pereira was losing the fight. Pereira was absolutely losing the fight. He was getting picked apart. But Adesanya got too overzealous and he didn't protect himself. He got fucking clocked for trying to finish him. So now in their third fight, I might have said third fight earlier. I meant to say second fight for kickboxing. For their second kickboxing match. If I said third, my bad. I'm a bit tired and I've been smoking a little bit. But for their third fight, Alex Pereira finished Israel Adesanya in the fifth round near the very end of the match. So people see that victory and just be like, oh, well, it's curtains then. Like, Adesanya has no chance. I genuinely don't see that as the case, and there's a few reasons why. So the first reason I'm going to say why I think that why I think that Alex Pereira is still in trouble for Adesanya in this next fight is for one, I've been paying attention to both of their embeds and don't to both of their to Adesanya's YouTube channel, the UFC embedded series, and all that stuff. I've been paying attention to all of it. Don't get me wrong, Pereira is absolutely taking this absolutely fucking seriously. But so is Adesanya. Adesanya recognizes that this is his last chance to take Pereira out. Now, granted, he's going to have to do it again if he wins, but he recognizes that this is his last chance. And that is going to instill a little bit of extra, like, desperation, a little bit of a wild card in there. But I wanted to get that little bit out of the way because that's honestly my least reason why he's going to win. The big reason why is because of the fact that people look at the UFC fight and they have this mentality in their head that Pereira was just absolutely decimated Israel Adesanya. There were no questions left to be answered. Adesanya got destroyed, and the fight was ended just because of the fact that he was about to get a knee, and it would have ended Israel Adesanya's career. Like, it is the most ridiculous bullshit I've ever heard in my fucking life. And they're not real MMA fans if you genuinely fucking feel that way. If you genuinely think that, for one, he was about to end his career, you're fucking slow. He was not going to fucking do that. Calm the fuck down. Chill with the hyperbole, bro. It's not that deep. Second off, no. Alex Pereira was absolutely losing the entire fight leading up to that point. Okay? First off, Israel Adesanya almost knocked him the fuck out in the first round. He got saved by the bell. Now, I'm not entirely sure why Izzy didn't step on the gas and try to, go ham on him. Granted, yeah, I'm sure Pereira recovered by the beginning of the second round, but not completely. You still could have done a little bit more damage, Izzy. You really could have, in my opinion. But he tried to, Izzy wasn't really going for the knockout that fight to begin with. He was going to do the basic outpoint him. So the other thing is the fact that Adesanya was winning every single round. He had I'm pretty sure every single round. I don't really know of any other. I don't really know of any round that he won besides the fifth round that he obviously won the match with. Here's the thing. What people don't understand and what people don't get what happened. My bad if that didn't make sense. If that what people don't understand about what happened to that fight is the fact that Pereira checked Izzy's leg kick. And that's why Izzy couldn't move. Izzy was not about to get knocked. Well, Izzy was not wouldn't have been in danger of getting knocked out because Adesanya hadn't, or not Adesanya, Pereira hadn't locked him down in a corner that Adesanya couldn't get out of. His leg was compromised. If you pay attention to near the first quarter of the fifth round, I believe, Adesanya had been throwing leg kicks, and Pereira checks Adesanya's leg kick. Which, if you don't know what a leg check is for a leg kick, he pretty much extended his knee out and made Adesanya's shin clash with Pereira's knee. Which Adesanya has gone on record to say that that did aggravate an injury, and you can absolutely tell it did because of the fact that his movement was absolutely compromised, and that's what allowed Pereira to rain down blows. Pereira did a great job of finishing the fight. I'm not saying that I'm not trying to take anything away from Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira did what he was supposed to do when that happened, of course. And you should be trying to check those leg kicks so that way that can happen to begin with. But that doesn't mean I have to lie and say that Pereira was winning the whole fucking fight, dude. So with this in mind, that it took a leg check that damn near you see what's happened with Anderson Silva, fucking Chris Weidman. I believe Uriah Hall is. Was it Uriah Hall? I might be messing up the name, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Uriah Hall got his leg broken. Conor McGregor, when he tried to kick Dustin Poirier's leg, Dustin Poirier checked his leg and got him right on the fucking ankle, which is what made his ankle give out. So yes, of course. For one, Pereira definitely earned that leg check, but yes, Adesanya was severely fucking injured from that leg check. I genuinely believe that if that leg check doesn't happen, it goes the distance. Adesanya wins by decision. Genuinely. Now that doesn't take anything away from Alex Pereira. He won it, of course, but that doesn't mean that he's gonna win the next one. Izzy's going to be much more careful, theoretically, but I also don't think that he's going to want to let it go to the judges. I genuinely think he's going to try to finish him, especially because he's shown the capacity to knock out Alex Pereira. And also, he has the option to take him down and just hold him down the entire fucking time. Because that is Alex Pereira's biggest weakness. He has no takedown defense. Adesanya was incredible, or is incredible, because of the fact that alongside his godlike masterclass fucking striking, nobody can take him down. No, not really, and the only ones that only can hold him down for like a minute, and then he gets right fucking back up. It's nearly impossible to take Israel Adesanya down. You cannot say the same for Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, for one, was shoved up the rankings. He's had very little experience fighting anybody who has any ability to take him down, he has very little ability to deal with anyone who has those capabilities. As a matter of fact, Alex Pereira's first match in mixed martial arts, it wasn't even in the UFC. He got submitted by a rear naked choke. His first match, he immediately got choked out. His ground game is absolutely a weakness that Adesanya can exploit to his advantage. So with Adesanya outstriking him with pure volume, of course, real quick, okay, my bad, hold on. I stutter a little bit. So with Adesanya having the strengths of having better striking, having the superior takedown, having the superior takedowns, also with better takedown defense as well. If Pereira decided to do something crazy like take him down, which is not going to happen, it's not going to take, that's not going to play into the fight. But with Adesanya having the option to take Pereira down, Adesanya having the capability to knock Pereira out, outstrike him, and outpoint him. And he's used to fighting these 5-round fights, like these UFC fights. He's used to fighting these kind of bouts. Like what people don't understand is that 5 minute 5 minute rounds with just like a smaller amount of rounds are much more like are way different from 3 minute rounds in a boxing match. You know what I mean? Granted, over like 12 to even more possible rounds, right? So the pace of the fight is way different than fucking kickboxing. So with Adesanya being better at managing a mixed martial arts fight, having way more options to win, can absolutely knock out Pereira just like Pereira can knock out Adesanya, and can outstrike him and outpoint him. I just feel like there's way more paths to victory than Pereira has. Pereira only has a lucky flash knockout. It really only comes down to that. Is can he either hopefully get lucky enough to get a checked leg kick so that way he can injure Adesanya again to make him unable to, move and get out the way, or can he just get a lucky shot to knock him out, because he's not gonna just continuously just bam 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 hit him in the face over and over and over. That's not how, like, Pereira is not that accurate. He's not that, like, Adesanya is able to take care of his strikes. You could say, oh, but what about the UFC fight? It's like, well, he hurt his leg. He could not get out the fucking way. If Adesanya has the option to have mobility, then he wins. Adesanya is faster, he is more consistent with his striking, and he's more accurate. It's just as simple as that, okay? That's what I genuinely believe. I'm not trying to, like, I admit I am a little bit biased, but I'm not opposed to Alex Pereira winning again. I think he's a very entertaining fighter. And I don't really have like hardcore sides where I was like, these guys have to win. And that's what I like about fighting, is that about combat sports, is that combat sports don't make me feel that way. With basketball, for example, I'm a huge Celtics fan, and I will only root for the Celtics. Like, of course, I'll like be like, oh, good, great job on the MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I'm always gonna go for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? But with combat sports, I root for whoever's the better fighter, whoever wins. Of course, I'll be like, oh, like, of course I have my favorites who I hope will win, but that doesn't sway my predictions over who will win. For example, actually, that's a great segue. Perfect example would be Burns versus Masvidal. I am a huge Jorge Masvidal fan, okay? I love this motherfucker. He's easily one of the most entertaining fighters of all time. He has one of the fucking coolest fucking backstories. Used to do backyard brawls with Kimbo fucking Slice, my dude. Masvidal, I almost said Alex Pereira. I'm tired. Jorge Masvidal is a fucking badass, and nothing that I'm about to say takes any of that away. Burns is most likely going to starch him. I love Masvidal, and I would love to be proved wrong, but Burns is just the better fighter at the moment. Masvidal is old at this point. He has not been showing up his past few fights. He wasn't able to deal with Colby Covington's wrestling at fucking all. So I don't know how he'd be able to deal with Gilbert Burns' wrestling, because Gilbert Burns is his ground game is arguably just as good, if not even better than Colby's. Not to mention Burns definitely still got hands. Okay, so, which, by the way, I didn't mean to say wrestler. He's Gilbert Burns does jujitsu, but he's one of the best submission specialists in the entire fucking world. So ground game is definitely not going to be the path to victory for Masvidal. Um, but like I said, Gilbert Burns is not exactly a slouch on the feet either. But I also don't really think that, even if he was, I don't even think that, like, even if Gilbert Burns was a slouch on the feet, I don't even think that he would allow it to stay on the feet for that long. I think he immediately takes Masvidal down and submits him as soon as possible, or just takes control of him and just, just holds him down for the entire match. I don't entirely see a path to victory unless Masvidal can have good enough takedown defense and can knock him the fuck out. But Masvidal needs to be ready to knock him the fuck out as soon as possible, because the longer that match goes on, the more the less likely it is that Masvidal wins, in my personal opinion. But I could be completely wrong. I would love to be wrong, because I am a huge fan of Masvidal. I love him to death. I love Street Jesus, but it's hot. That's dude. I just it's just I can't even in the fact that I'm a huge fan, I can't really comfortably say that Masvidal is going to take this one. With Israel Adesanya versus Pereira, I still think that Adesanya is going to win. Personally, I also think that the stoppage was a bit of an early stoppage. I don't think that Mark Goddard is a bad. Was it Mark Goddard who was reffing that fight? I don't think it was a bad stoppage. I think it was an early stoppage. I personally am of the belief that there is nothing wrong with someone who is completely coherent being, or taking a shot and then going down. You know what I mean? Uh, I'm just being honest. I think there's, like, I don't really personally find anything wrong with Adesanya getting knocked out. He's done it before. And the people that say, like, oh, it could have ended his career, are over fucking dramatic. No, it wouldn't have. It would have been a nasty knockout. For if you said, or if what you said was going to happen was even going to happen. Let's just say hypothetically, yes, he was going for a knee. Okay, then yes, if he connected that knee, it would have been a nasty knockout. But I also think that's the fighter's right to be able to do that. Combined with the fact that Adesanya did all get just as, if not closer to, knocking out Pereira in the very first round, and the fight kept going. So that's kind of the main reason why I'm like, what the fuck? Why does the fight get ended early here, but not there? It was just a little bit, but like I said, though, I don't really see that many paths to victory for Alex Pereira. I think it's a possibility, but I genuinely think it's kind of wishful thinking to hope that he just gets a flash knockout, because I also don't think that leg check is going to happen again. I think that Adesanya is going to stay mobile. I think that he's going to outstrike him and potentially knock him out. But that's just my thoughts. Give me your guys' opinion on what you guys are going to happen. Actually, before I go, there's a couple. Let me give a couple of decent little pointers to who I think is going to win on the card. All right, so there's Alex Pereira. Um, with Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. Yanez is the younger fighter. I believe he's up and coming right now. I think he has a pretty good shot of winning. I'll go with Yanez, but I don't know that much about Rob Font or Adrian Yanez. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not. I don't. I need to pay more attention to the bantamweight division, but I do try my best to keep up with everything, even on the lower cards. But this is on the main card, so I bet this is going to be a fucking crazy one. Kevin Holland versus Santiago Bonzanibio. So Bonzanibio, I've actually heard a few things about. He is a dangerous fucking fighter, but this is the only time where this is a time where I'm fully admitting this is bias. This is complete bias. I'm willing to admit it, but I believe in Kevin Holland. I love him to death. He's awesome. He's a fucking badass too, and I genuinely think that I genuinely think he can win. I think if he plays smart, well, plays smart. If he fights smart, and if he just like Kevin Holland's biggest issue is he needs to be willing to take people to the ground and use his ground game because he's fucking nasty at jiu-jitsu, dude. He's fucking nasty at it. But sometimes he just likes to throw hands, and that's like a Ronda Rousey mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to strike just because you've shown that you can knock motherfuckers out. You got to use every bit of your tool set. So if Kevin Holland's willing to use his ground game and his striking, I think that I think if he continues to mature as a fighter the way that he's been doing, I think he could totally fucking win this one. Raul Rosas Jr. and Christian Rodriguez. I know I just said that I haven't been paying an insane amount of attention to bantamweights, but I have been paying attention to Raul Rosas Jr. Raul Rosas Jr. is going to win this. He's a fucking badass. He is a badass. He came into the UFC at 17 years old, I believe. He didn't even come in at 18. I believe he came in at 17, which didn't even know that was legal. But you see his record. He is on a fucking warpath, and I'm not gonna be the dumbass that's gonna doubt him. He is a young fucking prodigy. I hope he continues to beat people's asses the way that he's been doing. Uh, his submissions are off the fucking chain. He still has fucking knockout power, like really good knockout power. Like, dude, he's a great fucking fighter, and he's someone to watch out for, dude. For the prelims, wow, Kelvin Gastelum, dude, what on the prelim? Really? Dude. I think Kelvin Gastelum got it. I believe he's been on a losing streak, but he's been fighting really good fucking people. It's kind of hard to judge people that are on losing streaks when they're on losing streaks against some of the best in the world. A good example of that for me is Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler's a great fucking fighter. One of the best in the world. He has been losing though. Mainly because of the fact that he wants to be super entertaining, and he's also fighting the best of the fucking best. And he's fighting in a stacked division. There's just some times where he literally just fights like a fucking idiot, though. I don't know what his deal is, but he fights like he's just a pure meathead. But it's so entertaining. The dude is a badass. If he fights smart, though, if he fights smart, I genuinely think Michael Chandler could be champion of the UFC. He just has to fight smart. Michelle Waterson versus Luana Pinheiro. I think Luana Pinheiro is going to win. I don't know how to say her name. Gerald Meerschaert versus Joe Pyfer. I really like Gerald, but I'm going to go with Joe. He's a good up-and-comer. Wow, Chris Barnett was about to fight. Damn. Isn't he one who did the front flip? Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman. Carl Williams, that dude's fucking... I don't know. I don't really know much about these two specifically. Carl Williams versus Chase Sherman, but That record don't lie, bro. That motherfucker's ready to knock people out. Wow, Li Jingliang got canceled? Really? Damn, I was actually looking for. I had been seeing that around. I was wondering where it was. I didn't know it got canceled. Um, Damn, that really fucking sucks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want me to make more videos like this, just to like more video. I wouldn't call this a video essay because I didn't write jack shit of this down. But you know, just little bits of me talking about mixed martial arts, giving my own opinion of it. Let me know if you like it. I have fun with it, and I love mixed martial arts, and I think I have a pretty. I wouldn't call myself like I wouldn't call myself like a fucking legit like a Daniel Cormier uh, like fighting coach or whatever the fuck, but I think I know a decent thing or two about how fights go or how fights plan out, and I tend to be pretty on point with it. But I don't know. I also got inspired to make this video because I think that of all the times to doubt Israel Adesanya, I don't think that this is one of them. I think that this is just a time for him to make a comeback and improve his legacy even further and actually finally defeat the person who's been causing him trouble. But I also think that it's just also just pure logic of the fact that, like, listen, he has more options to win. If Adesanya is smart, and he is, he's gonna figure out a way. In my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But let me know what you guys think. Like and favorite the video. And subscribe if you're feeling nice and generous today. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.